Okay, so welcome back from the break. It's Entertainment Review here on Metro Television, and it's time for us to talk some of the issues that took place over the weekend. From Lexi The Comics Too Cute to Be Mute program. That was amazing. We'll get into the details of that. Also, the seventh edition of the Emmy Africa Awards. We get to talk about that and some other things also. Maybe we'll just chip in Black Sherif's official announcements for his upcoming album and some other things on the show. But let's begin with Too Cute to Be Mute. It took place on a Friday at the National Theatre, and trust me, I really wanted to be there because I wouldn't say I have been at comedy shows, but you hear that a lot online. People say that Ghanaian comedians are like this. That's not nice. They are not. So I really wanted to be there. And so when Lexi came, we talked about it. I got there, and trust me, a whole lot of people were there. People came in to have an experience, and indeed, that was what happened. Let me just tell you, I got there around 7:38 thereabout. There was the curtain raiser where, some of the comedians who are, now trying to get their feet on there came on. And trust me, every single one of them was so on point that everybody loved it. We loved our heart out from there. But there was a gentleman, I couldn't get the name. He was so, his jokes were intellectual jokes. And when he was done, as part of the curtain raisers, when he was done, everybody stood up and clapped for him. As someone who was part of the curtain raisers. So it was just amazing. But, one of the persons who really was, used the most of the jokes was the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and his vice president, though, because of what happened at the Global Citizens the festival, yes. So he was in almost all of the jokes, and then came the ones we already know. General Intatia gave a great intro also about the president and Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo at the Global Citizens, and then came Obi and Ponsan, and performances also came through. Mr. Drew came through. Kobe Rana came through. FM Music was there. Clemente Suarez called him upstage to come and perform, and then Lexi himself came up. I would rate this event, I cannot say 10 over 10, but I should think 9 over 10 should be perfect. From the beginning, from the kind of people that they brought in. Maybe what would deduct their marks was the time, because people felt, because we were there for 5 hours. So the Lexi finished almost 12:10, about a.m., 12:10 a.m. So 5 hours from 5 to 12, people were seated, waiting for the comedians to come in. And Clemente Suarez was the MC. And it was just fantastic. He just found every opportunity to make a joke out of everything. And so he did so well. The performances were great for me, General Intatia. And of course, let's not forget the first appearance of Funny Face on the comedy stage for a very, very long time. So he was there to perform also. And I know if we could just get some highlights of the show, and then we get into the rest of the conversation here. So Too Cute to Be Mute by Lexi The Comic. Let's watch some highlights.
And there was the papa guy, you fool or what? Why did they put in the mic? Mr. Drew, I said, we are to work and let him. And so Usher started this song. I think the song is Love and Friends or something. And the song he starts with, oh. There we go. And baby is my friend. I need to know this song. It was after I got to the show that I realized I really don't know Usher. I'm just here for the SDA. I had this excuse. It was like, this excuse was, I knew they would ask me, do you have any ties in Ghana? Meaning you have family. Yeah. And I had no family, I had family, but not direct like my own family. So I came up with an idea. I said, I have a pregnant girlfriend who will get married soon in September. So I'll come back to Ghana marry her. When I was there, I heard one guy using the same excuse. They said, unfortunately, you can't go to America. Ties. Can't cook ties. They bounce. Hey! And one guy brought his baby. Small boy, 4 years. The boy was like, I won't go to America, Daddy. I won't go to America. The question was, why don't you want to go to America? I said, I love Ghana, so you have to go to America. Hey, say what? They gave it to him. Then I saw everybody change. They were like, no, they're using the wrong age.
Comic there. I posted on Facebook that let's appreciate GH comedians because they're putting so much work, having to even deal with the fact that people think they are not funny, but some of them do not. I was looking out for, when Lexi came out, the conversation we had about the line to draw when it comes to jokes. I think most of the jokes were centered around things that happens with us. So from the presidency, governorship, or leadership, to sex, to trying to get a visa at the embassy, to your relationship and all of those things. So for me, it was a perfect day. And also the performances, Mr. Drew and L Baby came on stage. It was amazing. And the good old Kobe Rana came in massively, performed, on there. So, it was good. Jacinta's going to have hers in a bit.
Yeah. I think on the 4th of
October. On the 8th. That's actually on Saturday.
Yeah. One night stand.
How do we, with the response and what has happened, what do you think they should continue doing to maintain that? Because trust me, this show has shot the expectations a notch higher to 90%.
Yeah.
Everybody now thinks that, these guys are good.
Yeah.
How do they make sure that they stay up there?
I for one, I'll say that they should get to edit shots or maybe shots of the videos and make them viral online. I mean, when it comes to skits, we kind of lack over there. So it'll be best if they get short videos of it, make them available for us to be posting on our status, make them viral on TikTok. It should be everywhere on Reels, so that we won't forget about it. I mean, it happened just last week. We shouldn't forget about it. It should be there for us. We should see it on Instagram, on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, everywhere. And then those that were not even able to go will get to know, okay, this, for the guy that you said, they gave him a standing ovation. Imagine that we have his videos. People get to understand.
PJ or PK, one of that?
Exactly. I think that is what we need to do.
Yeah.
So that a lot of people will appreciate it more. Not everybody was able to be there.
True.
Ghana is a lot, it's big, and we all cannot fit in there. So social media is a place where we can, get everybody on board and everybody can enjoy and have a feel of what you went there to feel as well. So yeah.
Helen, really, I want your input on that.
With what she was saying, I agree with her, especially, you see that a lot of Ghanaians have this perception that, comedy in Ghana is not really, they somehow, whether we like it or not, some Nigerians will say that take our name out of your mouth and all that, but then somehow there's always that comparison. So then people say, when Nigerians are very talented, when they do comedy is great and all, but then somehow something that, Ghanaian comedians are not really doing well. So sometimes they even attack some comedians that, you are not doing well, forget about comedy and all those things. But then when you go to events like this, you realize that, in fact, Ghanaian comedians are really doing well and they are doing great. So if someone is unable to make it to the show and they see videos trending around or they see videos on other people's status or on social media, they would appreciate that, indeed, Ghanaian comedians are doing really well. So next time when there's a show, they would be willing to go. Yeah. And that would, in other way, making more money. The comedians will be making more money from their craft.
One on the night was Funny Face. Right. For me, everybody was expectant that, we all know the drama, all the things that he had been through, and we had missed him on our screens for a very long time, and especially with stand-up comedy. He started with that. He diverted into, the movies and all of those things. And coming on stage, he just got on stage and everybody was up clapping for him. And what he did was to use his story and what he had gone through to make the jokes. Yeah. So talking about the, sleeping in the cells and saying that he wouldn't eat, he wasn't going to eat. He got to the 6th day and he said that if he doesn't, he was going to die. And then to the psychiatry or psychiatric hospital where he met some people, who were acting funny towards him, and all of those things. Nanaya, funny face. I think the reception has been good, and he used that to also preach against depression and suicide and all of those things. How excited are you to have him on, back?
I mean, I'm super excited that he didn't actually allow that to get to him.
Yeah, talking about the big ass and all.
Yes, I'm so happy that when the guys, Lexi, Obi, them told him that he was going to be part, he actually accepted it. I mean, someone could have said that, oh, I'm not ready to face Ghanaians, I'm not ready to do this. But actually, he received the call and he went back. So for 10 years, we had Funny Face on stage doing his thing. And I'll always say that Funny Face is a natural. I couldn't go to watch. I've never watched the comedians perform, but I do see the acceptance from Ghanaians, how people talk about them a lot. But I've watched Funny Face, and that guy is a natural. He's the likes of, I wouldn't say he's the same as them, but as KSM is natural, as our very own senior man, Fritz Bafo is natural, Funny Face is also like that. So you saying that he used the experience that he went through to actually make people laugh, it means he has actually grown. He has actually evolved. Whatever happened is behind him. So I would say that 10 years grazing a stage like that again, it shouldn't end there. He should give it to us back to back. And like when you asked what they have to do to sustain this beautiful thing that they are doing. First off, I think Harriet said something, that they are not like the Ghana music industry. There's unity in the comedy industry, and that's one thing I love. There's unity. If our seniors, when it comes to comedy, we all know, have this whole united front, and it's so amazing. Ghanaians are learning that, and so they should continue and improve that. Now, back-to-back shows. I might say back-to-back shows, and it will feel as if it's difficult. I know it's difficult, but you see, the more you do things for people to accept you, people to patronize you, that is what's Ghanaian, bigger corporate companies who can actually fund it will come on board. So the maintaining of the unity, back-to-back concerts, and also giving their all.
True.
You see, some of them is natural, but I always say that when you learn, it becomes more professional and it becomes so unique for you. I love Trevor Noah from South Africa, and every time he says that he learns. When he's done with his shows, he goes back to watch to see how the crowd responded. Now he's on tour. And he does that, and he comes back to do that whole retrospecting, and he sees where he went wrong and then works on it. So I would say maintaining the unity, back-to-back shows, and giving us I'm telling you, 5 years to come, our comedy industry will be one of the talked about industry in West Africa.
The thing also is about venues. I know we've talked about it. I mean, we've beat on this for God knows how long.
Yeah.
If it's not the National Theatre, now the AMA office complex, there's a place, I think Snaps Cinema also, as it is. That is also a new place that people do go there. But when we keep on doing the national theatres, there's music concerts going on there, stage plays going on there. You have comedy shows going on there. A lot of things happening, conferences, all at that place. There's so much stress
The National Theatre.
at the National Theatre. How about getting, for me, how difficult is it to get theatres across so that they can host these things at different places? Imagine the buzz that this has created in Accra. Everybody's talking about too cute to be mute. And then Lexi thinks that, okay, the energy here, let me go to Takrady. Let me get one of the home people in Takrady, a comedian there who can help us. We sell there. Then they move to other places. That is how they're also going to get some money. And that is not just for the benefit of the comedy industry, but you're going to have the music people, a dome that could take all of these, activities or performances from these people. So, we'll call on governments, whichever way. But if government is not coming, that is where investment has to come in. But you see, If the government is not looking at it and the money is not coming, how can an investor
private investor
come in
come
and say
in to
that, I'm
support?
going to make this
But they should
returns
take
and
the
all
leap
that?
of faith. I mean, Ghana Music Awards, when it started, it was Ghana Music Awards. And then now it's Vodafone Ghana Music Awards. And I'm sure Vodafone is reaping a lot. So maybe these private sectors should take a leap of faith, especially with how successful 2Q to be mute has been. They should take the leap of faith and invest. There's always a first time. I mean, government has a lot on their shoulders. And it looks, no, I'm not trying to.
I'm not going to agree to you on that, but you go on.
So yes, they need to pay attention to the creative arts industry because, I mean, there's money. It's a cash cow. But if government is short-sighted and is not seeing how lucrative the creative arts industry is, private sectors, banks, I mean, we have big banks here. You can add your name to these events and make it yours and get gains. Nanaya mentioned how vendors have made a lot of money from BB Niger. This is something that vendors or investors can also make money from it.
Yeah, we can
so
start.
we can always wait for government to do something for us.
Well, that is true. We cannot always also
Even
want...
Lexi himself said it that day when he came here to promote 2Q to be mute, that private investors should also come on board, attach their name to the show, and be part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know why sometimes they are unwilling to, sponsor some of these shows. Or
They are not
support
willing to
them.
take risks.
See, Ghanaians, we are afraid to take risk.
No, the risk should be...
We're always
no,
scared.
the risk should be a reasonable risk.
Right.
If you take the risk and you know that you're not going to reap now, then you psych yourself that you're not going to reap now for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
But if you put in so much money, first, second, third year, I mean, you're going to lose interest.
Yeah.
So at least they should start,
so that's where the
But
problem
this
is.
particular one, you're not going to lose. I mean, you're going to win. It's doing well. People,
Especially
people are
after what
appreciate-
happened.
Exactly. People are
Yeah.
appreciating
And
comedy.
December is coming.
And see, Ghana is tough right now.
Right.
You need these things to make you happy.
See, this one, I was talking to Senior Theo, one of our cameramen here. He said, he saw me at the place and he doesn't really go out for these things. But when he went there on Friday, he was so happy that he's going to get a ticket for Jacinta's program.
Yeah.
So let's get, involved in all of these things and push our people. It was a good show and we wish them the very best. Jacinta has hers coming up and another guy also coming up.